Welcome to the Kind Case Show. Here's what we speak up on it. We call this Wealth Wednesdays or Wednesday's Wealth. Today is something new. We're gonna do a little intro, just a little brief intro until we start getting some more people in here, so we can help people out with their credit and their finances if they're in debt. Explain to you the difference between the different types of debt that you can have, and we'll discuss that right after this short intermission. Speak up on it. Said if you want it, then you better speak up on it. 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 All right, we back. Wealth Wednesdays, y'all.
What's up? What's up?
Tamarine is back.
We got the tambourine back in the house.
Was missing for about a month. I had to take it to the Jackson's house and have them tune it up for me. So
Everybody's happy. The tambourine is back.
Jermaine being the only remaining Jackson left, other than Michael, he having his surgery done to
Hey man, look here, man. You still got Randy and
go in the
Jackie and
uh-huh,
Marlon,
uh-huh,
Latoya,
mm-hmm,
Reby.
uh-huh,
Ain't but two of them gone, man. Tito and
uh-huh.
Michael, bro. That's
You know what, Mike?
Yeah, man. Y'all listen to this dude talking about that. You know, what I mean, he'll get you thinking
All one person, huh?
one person, all one person.
They doing a hell of an act.
That's a hell of an act. That's a hell of an act. Don't y'all believe this dude, man? You know what I'm talking about, man. Anyways, before we dive into it. Anybody got anything new that they want to bring up as far as what's happening in sports?
Been a quiet bit.
Texas Tech's top guy, JT Toppin, out for the season.
Season,
Torn ACL. He was gonna definitely be a first round pick. Now, he might want to petition for that medical red shirt and come on back because he's gonna be out a good little while with that ACL tear.
Okay.
And he was that was last year's conference player of the year in the Big 12,
Mm-hmm.
leading a team in all categories this year. So get well, young fella.
It will. That's what we're talking about. Let's see here.
Seattle Seahawks, as of right now, have but one person on their roster that's a running back that is signed for next year. So, and that's Chardonnay. That's a running back that is signed.
Okay.
So, but he's going to be coming off an injury, so they have not decided on what they're going to do with the MVP. So,
They gonna sign him. They better sign him.
they better sign him.
Well, if they don't, somebody else will. That's for sure.
Somebody else will.
That
I
dude
know they
nice.
ain't thinking they know just plug and play. That kid's a monster.
Oh yeah, he is nice too.
And as of today, nobody else on the Miami Dolphin team got cut. So
Nobody else got fired on their day off.
nobody else got fired.
They've been getting shit canned over there, boy.
Oh man.
Come in and clean it out. We didn't clean out your locker for you. Your trash bag is on the curb.
Hey, you might not even want to be seen. You accidentally walk into the facility for a workout and be like, yeah, I'll cut his ass right now. Cut him
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
He here anyway. So
That's
Coach
right.
wants to see you and bring your iPad.
iPad and here's a
Shit.
Ziploc bag.
Hey, I see. They did an interview. I guess is that the Cowboys defensive coordinator, the new Cowboys defensive coordinator. Look, is that a brother?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know where he came from. I ain't did no homework on him. I don't even know
I had
his
him down. I gotta find him. I had it all typed up
name.
somewhere on the line.
Yeah. So hopefully he can do a better job than that dude did last year. Because hey, that after a job that he did last year, he should never get a job. He should, unless he go back down to Pop Warner. I don't even suggest for him to be coaching no high school. You know what I'm saying? At all. At some of the worst high schools, man. He was terrible.
He was a DB coach at Philadelphia. So he's young cat, 34 years old.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing
Name
wrong
is
with some young meat.
Christian Parker.
All right, Christian.
So
The,
you're on
the
the
world
clock.
is your oyster.
Turn it up.
You're on America's team coaching. You do a shitty job, everybody gonna talk shit about you. You probably won't get another job. You know what I'm saying? You know. But if you show out, you get these guys to play for you and listen to you.
Hey,
That'd be
so you
amazing.
know how we talk about this new offensive passing coordinator shit? Now they have a defensive passing
Yeah,
coordinator.
yeah, they
God.
do. Yeah, running. They got running game coach on both sides.
Wow.
Running
That's
game and passing game coaches on both sides. Hey, it's more jobs. I ain't mad at it. It's because some people don't. Like 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 if me and Kai was coaching, he could be the running coordinator, and I'll be the passing coordinator.
just
You know,
sometimes you get too many
know, not that
voices.
we don't know both, but if you got a specialty, what the hell?
Yeah, sometimes you can have too many voices and too many opinions.
Oh, ain't no question about that. Ain't no question. But if it's getting people jobs, and
Yeah, the
most
job.
most teams don't have all of that, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
It would be interesting. We could do some research and see what the winning percentage of the ones who do have both.
I no, I this is like I really this is almost like the first year I really heard of this, but I've heard of this shit in the college. I didn't know the pros did that type of shit.
Yeah. It's a few teams out there with both.
Running coordinator and pass coordinator. I'm just interested in like, oh, it's your turn. Well, we need a run play. Hey, running coordinator, give us a play.
Calling me down because I guess all they could be doing is like who somebody got to be the coordinator. Somebody got to be calling
Hey,
this shit.
dog, look, when you call plays, you're supposed to be setting shit up. That's at least how I was taught. Set shit up.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And if you see something, yeah, of course you call something according to what you see. But it's one thing always set up another. That's why scripted plays always seem to work best
right.
on the first drive because they're scripted. They're set up plays. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then they tend to get lost. So I don't see how if you got one guy coordinating the run and the other guy coordinate the pass, how that shit come together. I don't know. I mean, I guess you
Yeah.
can kind of but shit. I mean, like you say, okay, well, if I call this series of plays, you got these series
They,
of plays to look for on in your run game. If I
you
call
can't
it, I guess that's the way you can do it. Yeah.
you can't have them both calling plays. That's for sure.
No, not at all.
Remember, you only got what about 30-35 seconds to make a call.
Yeah, so they got to be putting together. Maybe they game plan it together. What's the running stuff that you like against these defenses, and they come together and then put together a full plan. But during the game, one mouth, one mouth. That's all you get.
They need to have a mini pool coordinator, somebody who's going to coordinate the halftime cheerleading show with the baby oil and the mini pool out on.
It take you long, 8 minutes and 26 seconds. Hey,
Yeah, god damn it. See, he got it snuck it in there.
it
I ain't gonna
take
call
you
it a kiddie
long.
pool no more because that don't sound right no more. I thought about that, calling it a kiddie pool and putting all that together. I'm just gonna call it a mini pool now. So
Chris Hansen would have something to say about that.
Why don't you call it the Diddy pool?
the,
Yeah, the Diddy pool. There you go.
the
There
kiddie
you
pool it is.
go. There you go. The Diddy pool. You can get wet or you can get sticky.
Get
You know?
sticky.
Yeah, sticky icky. Anyways, all right. So I'll name this Wednesdays. Well, wasn't gonna start this till next week. Well, we really officially gonna probably start it next week, and and we're just gonna give you a brief intro of how this gonna go. I'm gonna go pull this screen up. I'm gonna go first here, DMAC, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about credit, right?
All right.
So this is the breakdown of a credit, right? This is how they break it down. This is how your three bureaus break it down: Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, right? You got secondary credit bureaus too. Some people will suggest that you freeze those when you're trying to build. I do not suggest that. I do not suggest that. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think you need to do that. Some people think that when you're contesting, delinquencies on your credit, that if you freeze the secondary ones, The main credit bureaus go to your secondary credit bureau to kind of get some kind of, you know, see if that's, if they're legit or not. Now, I don't believe that. I don't believe that's how it works. You don't know. Maybe I could be wrong, but I've been doing this for a long time, and the way I do seems to work fine. I never freeze anybody's secondary credit when I'm repairing your credit, so I don't believe you have to do that. You hear people tell you to do that. I haven't found that to be accurate. So, anyways, here's a go. Amount owed 30%, right? So that's what you owe currently. That's your utilization, right? And that's 30% of your credit. And this is all broke down. I mean, if you can figure this out, of what 100%, right? That's what you be looking at,
It
right?
is. It
Yeah,
is.
right. So this
It
is
is.
all broke down. This is the wheel. This is the wheel of finance of credit financial, right? And they break it down, and we go start with the first one in red, which is 30%, right? The amount owed. That's what's owed on your credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people tend to tell you keep your utilization under 30%. Now, if you look at it, and let's take it back to elementary, right? Whereas um, an A, right, would be 90, 10%. A, well, what would be 90%? The 100 to 90, 100 to 90, right?
Yep. Yep.
A B will be 80 to 90, right?
Yep.
A C will be 70 to 80, right?
Yep.
Okay, so anything below that, who gives D or fail?
These are
DFL ain't no, that don't pass you, right? D's and fails. We don't want those. So that's what we're saying. They say 30%. If you're above 30%, then your utilization will be hit hard, which is true. Now, in my opinion, once you start dealing with me, right, and you hire me, I tell you to keep it below. If you stay within the tens, about 8%, right, and that's the way to do that. You don't need to be up all high and stuff on each credit because that's why you have multiple credit cards, and you can take turns and use one or other, whatever. And you don't need many. Starting out, you kind of get what you can get, right? And I'll get into
right.
that, but I'll get into that. I don't want to go too fast for you. So anyway, so that's the amount owed utilization. That's what he's thinking. Payment history. That's if you're paying your bills on time because they go in 30-minute, 30-day increments, right? That's when
Yep.
they report on you. If you
Yep.
30-day late, that's when you start getting dinged. So what does that say? That means if your bill is due on the 15th of every month, they want you paid. And I always tell people pay it 2 days before the due date. So if it's due on
Mm.
the 15th, pay it by the 13th, right? And you don't have to worry about that. And but you don't get a late until you're 30 days late beyond the closeout date, right? So if
Yep.
your due is on 15th, you don't get a 30-day late till the next month, right? 30 days from there, from the next month. So you can
Mm-hmm.
actually go beyond that, but you're going to be charged interest. They're going to hit you with some interest fees, and finance fees, and that's the only probably hit you with. But it's not going to ding your credit as far as you being 30 days late. A lot of people don't know that. So just telling you, it's not that if you're 31 days late, they report on your credit you're 30 days late. No, you have an additional 30 days, or 28 days, I would say, to get that court to get your card paid before it's a ding on you. And dings 30-day late usually take about 6 months for your credit to report to recover from, right? If you get those, so you don't want to get those. All right, 15% is length of credit. That means the time that you've established credit from the first credit card that you have. And a lot of people make a mistake when they get their credit cards. They they were like, well, as soon as I pay this off, I'm just gonna close it out. It's a bad thing to do. Never close out a credit card because credit history counts of 15% of your report. So if
Mm.
you close out that account, you lose all that history and it dings your credit and your credit will drop. So you don't want to ever close out a card, especially a good standing card or your oldest card. So here's the thing. A lot of times you don't have to use the card, but maybe once every 8 months. Some people say 12, but I tell you 8. And you can go to the store and buy a pack of gum, just as long as you use it, right? You keep it in good standing and keep the history attached to your credit report. That's all you want to do with that.
Okay.
Type of credit, 10%. You got two 10% up here. The type of credit is one is revolving credit, right? And then you got the loans, right? Where so you have one type of what's the revolving is the credit cards itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're revolving, and then you have loan, uh, like when you go out and get a car loan or something like that, or a
Mm-hmm.
bank loan, that type of credit, whatever, whatever. So that's a mixture of credit, two different types of credit, right? So and generally you can't get to the loan part if you don't have the revolving part taken care of. Generally, I mean, there's some rarities that it's happened. Some, people sell cars to anybody nowadays because they just want to get them got things out the lot. But if you want to get a good interest rate and all that type of stuff, you want to make sure that you have a significant amount of revolving lines of credit. That shows that you've been paying on time. Shows you that you're in good standings and all that. So it makes it good to the creditors, right? Then new credit. Now, this right here is where your inquiries come in. You want to keep your inquiries low. So if you go out here and just be applying for a bunch of different cards or bunch type of loans, you get what they call an inquiry on your credit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that can ding you. That can hurt you. Too many. I think it's the more you don't want to have more. People say more than five. I tell you more than three, and uh, they fall off every 6 months, right?
Okay.
So you can get an inquiry, and then but when you're establishing, first of all, when you first establishing, it's okay to try to, if you know you can get that card, to go ahead and get it.
Right.
If your credit, you don't have no bad credit, you just don't have credit at all. You can usually start out getting what they call a secure line of credit. That's where you put your own money up, and then they'll give you credit depending on how much money you put up, and you can start a card off that way. Discover does that. Discover's a good one to start off with, and so is credit. Um, what's that? What's the guy one? What's the brother
Capital
name?
One.
There you go. Capital One. Capital One. That's the other secure line of credit, right? So there, and you can start off as much as you want. 300, 500. I think, and 1,000 is what you can
Mhm.
start off with, right? So those are the new types of credit. So like I said, you don't want to have too many inquiries on your report. But when you first start out, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? You got to get your foot in the door. And then
Right.
once you get those, uh, get it. Unless somebody is very generous and put you on their credit, right? So you can be a card holder, a extra card holder on their credit, and that could help you as well. So but we can get into that later on. So and that would help you also. So those are the things that I would just want to do a little introductory to teach you a little bit things about credit and things you need to look for. And listen, another thing is that when you people we talk about debt, there's a good thing as of good debt and bad debt.
Sure. Hmm.
Okay, so I always tell people it is always best to own debt, not owe debt. Well, Kai, what do you mean by that? When you own it, you simply have this credit that you could pay off if you could afford it. You can pay it off anytime you want to, but you want to keep it going because what's that doing? It's showing that you're continuously paying on something on time, and it's actually elevating you to get better and more credit on these particular cards. So the longer you use them consistently, right,
Hmm.
on time, things like that, you can advance because what they call tiers. And you go from one. Some people say 1 to 5, but really it's like 1 to 4, 5. Some people never really get there. That's where you start getting the black cards, stuff like you. So I don't, some people will never get there. But so you got 1, 2, 3, and 4 lever tier type cards, and I'll explain to you what those are and how to get those, and I can even show you how to skip 1, 2, and 3 and get straight to 4. You know what I'm saying? So that's what comes with experience, right?
Right.
So yeah, so I digress. So you know those are the things that come along with the credit, right? Good debt and bad. Oh, I didn't explain what I explained. Oh, that's owning debt. Old debt is debt that you can't afford, but you have it and you're paying bare minimum just to get by and
Right.
keep it in good standings every month. And you're getting hit with interest, and you're paying more interest than you are to anything else. And you wonder why the card is never going down when you pay your bill, because you're being charged 25, 29, sometimes as high as 35% on some of these cards,
Yep.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
that's um old debt. That's not owning debt, right? So you don't want those type. We want to try to stay away from the type of card. But like I said in the beginning, sometimes you have to get what you can get and work the system, and that's how they make their money. And that's how and you just sometimes you pay more just so that you can get your foot in the door and get established. But once you establish, you can, just like I said, not use those cards because the interest is so high, but you can want to keep them and maintain them, especially if they're your oldest cards, because what we talked about, payment history, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you want to keep that because that counts for more percentage than anything else on that wheel is 35%, right? So that's where I'm at with that. And so it's just a little brief little something on credit, right? Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Good
All
deal.
right. All
Yeah.
right.
Good.
So D
Good
Mac,
about
you want let me pull your chart up and hold on here. What the heck is going on here? Oh, okay. So D Mac's gonna talk to you a little bit about a will and a trust.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me get your chart. Here we go. All right, there we go. There you go, D Mac. You have the floor.
All right. So we all hear these terms, kind of thrown around, and it's all kind of fuzzy. You kind of think, oh, if I got a will, I don't need a trust, or if I got a trust, I don't need a will. Because you figuring that they're kind of the same thing. Now, there are some similarities in them, um, but here are some of the differences, and then we'll kind of get into how that affects you. So we'll just go down the line here. So the living trust versus the will. So in the living trust, that takes effect while you're alive. Um, you go in and because you can put things into your trust, your home, your business, and things like that. You can put those types of things into a trust so that they're not attached to you personally, and they can be sheltered. And we will talk about that as we dig into into how all of these things work. A will obviously is something you put together and you say, this is my last will and testament. I want my kids to get this, and this, or if I die, I'm sorry, if I pass away, um, my my children go to my brother, and and that sort of thing. You kind of tell with the will, you kind of telling them where you want things to go. Okay. So that doesn't take effect until after something happens to you and you pass away, right? The um, the will, however, you hear that was becoming a bad word, and that's that probate, right? The things in a will go into probate because they can be uh, tested, they can be challenged, and so on.
Now,
But
he said probate, not probation for some of y'all out there.
right, probate. Uh, the trust will skip probate. It's because of how it's drawn up and all that. And like I said, we'll get deeper into those weeds a little later on. But as when people just draw up a will, things go into probate, property goes into probate, money goes into probate. It takes a lot longer for things to get passed down generationally when they're just done in a will. Okay. Um, uh,
One quick thing, just to ask a question about that, because uh, in the will, like he was saying, wills can be challenged, right? Throughout
Hmm.
all people in your family, right? Anybody related? Correct.
Hmm.
Correct.
They can
Brothers,
come out.
sisters, uncles, nieces, nephews,
Yep.
right? All these can challenge wills, right? So that's why some people choose to do the trust. Even trust, I've known people to also, even though they didn't win it, they've
Yeah.
also challenged trust as well. But it's
Yeah.
that's more of a thing to whereas, hey, this is it. Like ain't getting no better than that, right?
Right. Right.
Um,
And it's for and it's because of that next reason down. Um, a will is easy to change. If because all you got to do is call up, you know, call up a notary public, write your will out again, and have it, and have it stamped. So those get challenged more for uh, to see if this was really the person or somebody made them do it or somebody forged signatures, and all of that type of stuff. That's why things go through probate. They do a little more digging to make sure everything was uh, done on the up and up. Okay. A living trust a little harder to change because it's got a little bit of attorney stuff involved. Now will can have that too, can have an attorney and stuff involved, but not you don't have to, that so that can kind of go both ways. Okay. Um, and like I said, we just kind of bullet pointing and stuff here. As I
yeah.
said in the will, you could name a guardianship of your children. They're going to go to um, my minor children will go to my sister or to my brother in case of my demise. Where in a trust is that doesn't involve guardianship at all. It's more things that are in the trust, and the will is more who those things are going to. Uh,
Hmm.
is more so. Um, and as we just talked about, because things can go in probate, transfer of assets can take a little time when it comes to a will. Where in a trust, it's already etched in stone. Like I said, it's harder to change. So those things are usually locked in pretty good, and they read it out, and read it out, send it out,
Right.
that thing,
Okay.
right?
Cool. 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 So, because like I've know of an instance, like if a person passed away and they didn't have no children, right, and then they had
Mhm.
only person they had was a close relative, whether it was one of their siblings or whatever,
Right.
that the nieces and nephews and from both sides, if especially if they were married, can challenge the will, right? And then
Absolutely.
or I'm saying not the will, but if they didn't have no will, I should say if you didn't have no will, can
Oh
challenge
yeah.
the estate and get a
Yep.
piece of it, right? For you
Yep.
not having a will in place.
Yep.
Right, so that's kind of generally when things start going to probate. If there's no will in place, no will or trust in place, and the property or the assets that's left over can be challenged by anybody in the family then. And
Yep.
then that's generally how they break it all up, you know what I mean? So instead of your sister, your brother, or your niece or nephew or whatever getting who's next in line, shit, you can get people come off the woodwork that you ain't never even talked to, didn't even know they exist,
Man,
and challenge your
hey,
goddamn
that,
estate and
that
get it.
brother, that brother that you didn't know you had,
Yeah.
hey, hey, they can come in. When it's your dad and he had another child that you didn't know about. Now he
Hmm.
found out his real father's gone, and here he comes. You know,
Exactly.
um, because really, uh, biologically he's owed something. Not that he's owed anything, but and with the way that community property goes, yeah, he kind of is. So if it's not drawn up well and done correctly, uh, it could you sit there in that probate till they wash everybody's hands, and
Right.
do all of that. which comes to the next line where the living trust is totally private between you and who you set it up with, and that kind of thing, and that will has to become public because
Yeah,
a
yeah, exactly.
lot
Because
of
they
people
what they do is like
that
kind of the, when you trying to sign up for a business, and they used to make you uh put the name out there to make sure ain't nobody got the
right,
name right. You know what I'm saying? Anybody contest that shit. You know what I mean? Now you in a
that
battle.
title,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what that's about. So it's all, and before we even get to the step of having the will and trust, we want your ass to have some goddamn life insurance first. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely,
How about that? You know what I mean?
absolutely.
So we'll get into that, but I'm just saying, look, people.
We'll take this. We'll go step by step on which way
Yeah,
to
the best way to do that, right?
what to handle first, and
Hmm.
then and if you have the means, because living trusts aren't cheap. Wills aren't necessarily cheap. Wills are cheaper to do than trust, but if you got the means to take care of all of that, and sit down and knock it all down at once, or within a year span or 2 year span, do that, man. The you go to sleep way better at night. You have a whole better mind frame with how everything is going to go if something were to happen to you.
Hmm.
So,
All
so
right.
yeah, that's just a little snippet there. But when we do get into this, we'll get into them individually. What a trust does, what a will does, um, you know, and one question people will have, I'm sure, is can you have both, or should you have both? And the answer is actually yes, you should. And it's because they do different things. So to cover your ass, as they say, go ahead and do them both.
Exactly. Always good to CYA.
Yep, always,
Ain't
always,
that the,
always.
ain't that the truth?
Yeah,
All right. So that's what we have. That's like every Wednesday we gonna give you a little bit of peace. We ain't exactly. You can't get the goods unless you pay for it, right? But
right.
we're gonna give you a brief synopsis of
We
how
gonna give
to,
y'all
yeah,
what
yeah, or
give you
what to
the
look for and what to do, yeah.
clip, give you
And
the clip.
because
Yeah,
you're more than free to try to do this on your own. And I always tell people, you try to do it on your own, see how it works. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And
Well,
and understand this too. Nothing can be done overnight. This is a
exactly.
process. It's a
Everything.
process, and it takes time, right? And you have to do all your due diligence and make sure everything is done on time, because that's what it is. And it's a game. And if you
It is
don't know the rules, it's hard to play in any damn game you're gonna play if you don't know the rules, right? And we have the rules lined up and share them with you, right? And that's what we're gonna do.
absolutely,
All right,
absolutely.
so that's how that go. Um, like I said, visit us on all the platforms right there. There's our TikTok right there at K Speak Up on us, right? Share this content with your friends. Share it with everyone, right? This is how we can get it out there. Let's help everybody everywhere, right? Don't
Let's
try to
let's
keep it.
win. Let
Yeah,
everybody win,
let everybody win. That's why we sharing it with you, so you can
man.
share with somebody else. Somebody in your family needs this. I'm ain't nobody in family. Everybody got good credit. I know that's a damn lie.
Please, that's the last part. That's
If
the
you if you ever want to
biggest.
own something or buy something, you got to have credit. The world is in debt. The United States is in debt,
The world
right?
is in
But
debt.
what do they have? Credit. That's why they
Yeah,
got debt, and it's own debt or it could be owed debt.
yeah,
But the body is they have debt and they have credit, right?
yeah.
And
And they keep
that's why it evolves. It keeps revolving over and over again.
it because you got credit.
Right. If you remember what happened in the housing market back in 2007 and the banks were in trouble,
Yes, sir.
some people know that
Bail,
firsthand. They know all too
bail.
well, right? They got
Mhm.
bailed out, right? And that's what I was going to touch on before when I brought this up, that banks invest in um what we talking about, life insurance. more so
Yeah,
than anything. I mean, you can pull this up. This is public record. Their most of their stuff, most of their income comes from life insurance.
yeah,
You know what I'm
absolutely,
saying? That's the real.
absolutely.
That's the real of the real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can use it in all kinds of ways. You can use it to buy cars, purchase
Mm.
purchase things. You know what I'm saying? Down payment on the house. You can use your life insurance for a lot of different things
But
if you get the right type of life insurance.
isn't it funny how it's funny how states make it mandatory for you to have car insurance, um, but not something like
The life
life insurance,
insurance.
because life insurance is gonna help somebody
That's because
later.
it's gonna help somebody. They want your ass to be
They
one
want you
foot in, and
desolate.
yeah, they want you one foot in the grave
Yeah,
and the other
yeah,
foot under the grave. You know what I'm
right,
saying? They ain't
right.
even out the grave. They want you. They don't want you to succeed at all. Because if they
If
did, they
life
would teach you this shit in school. This
if
shit should be taught in school instead of all this other shit they be trying to teach
if life insurance was mandatory, bro, you would just it's gonna be this country would be so wealthy, so wealthy. Yeah, you got to wait for somebody to pass away for you to get it, but no one would be no one would be on the streets unless they just blew all their money and whatever. But
you.
everything, you wouldn't have these uh, moments of spending problems and all of that, because people would consistently have money across
Resource.
the
Well, yeah, like you said, unless you didn't, invest in the right way. And so that's part of this with too. I'm gonna teach you how to invest too. I'm gonna teach you how what to invest in, especially when you have jobs and jobs. Um, they match some of your earnings, whatever, where to direct them to, how to put them in. This all comes with
matching.
this all comes with this is stuff you need to know, right?
Absolutely.
Stuff, yeah, this stuff that help you and help your kids. Stuff you should teach your kids. Like I said, they're not teaching it in schools, right? But
They are not.
but fortunately, if you come to the Kyle and K show, you get it's a school in itself, and we're gonna teach you the game, baby. You know what I'm
Bring
saying? 'Cause
them
we want you to win. You know what I mean, and win well. You know what I mean. So that's it in a nutshell. So remember, we got Wealth Wednesdays or Wednesday Wealth, however we choose to say it. Tell somebody about it. Join the channel because after a while, we're gonna make this a members only thing. To whereas when you have to, pay a little fee to become the member, and it would only be, and we'll give you the goods. We give you everything in the members only channel, right?
no question, no
Yeah,
question.
yes, because if you your little $5 or $10 a month, whatever you choose to pay, to help us out to spread this love. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna reciprocate it by giving you some game and how to keep your get out of debt, stay out of debt, and if you do acquire debt, so I like sometimes I get bored. Sometimes I challenge myself. I will put myself on deck and just play a game with myself for an
Get
hour.
out.
Yeah, hour. I mean, a year and a half, 2 years, and s- and I document everything. So because I like to keep receipts, so I can
Yes,
show
sir.
you. So I can show you that I'm the real. I don't play no games, especially when it comes to money. All right, I love it. That's just that's just the way it goes. You know what I'm saying? So, um, D Mac, we're gonna get up out of here. What you got for him today?
All right. My thought of the day, and I'm sure it's something people have heard before, but it struck a chord with me. Either late yesterday or this morning, I was thinking about it, and the thought of the day is: you will never be betrayed by an enemy.
Hmm. Hmm.
What say that again?
Hmm.
You will never be betrayed by an enemy.
You will
Hmm.
never be betrayed by enemies. I'll tell you, man, this boy sometimes he be doing some. Yeah, I didn't think about that. He would never be betrayed by enemy.
Yeah. So who's
Man,
gonna betray you?
yeah, who go?
Who's gonna betray you? Somebody
Uh,
you think, who love you.
absolutely, absolutely. Hey, look,
Friends. You can only be betrayed by people you like.
ain't that the truth?
Enemies
Hey, look,
don't do it.
Hey, look here. Let me give you my daughter a little intro for my daughter. Y'all subscribe to her channel, and then we're gonna get up out of here after this.
His hair is gorgeous. I'm obsessed. What you think?
There it is. All right, y'all. Like I
What's
said,
up,
this
Jay
is Kai.
James? How you doing, bro?
Yes, sir. This is the Kai and K Showers where we speak up on it Monday through Friday. We've been starting a little later. We're starting about 6:30. Seems like that's gonna be a good time. We got our boy Jamal gonna come in and help us with this basketball stuff. We got March Madness right around the corner, and some of y'all like to bet. And at the bottom of the screen, if you can see, there is a My Bookie code there, and they will give you. I don't know what they're doing now. I think before it was like 100. Like they credit you with 100 for signing up, or maybe 50 signing up, whatever it is. You have to sign up for 50, and you get credit for another 50 or another 100, and you can make your wager there. But do it responsibly. If you have a problem, go seek help. Go to Gamblers Anonymous or some shit like that. Yeah. We don't advise you to be doing gambling if your ass can't control yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Don't do it. Don't be gambling on your credit card.
Don't do it.
Right,
Just don't do it. Hey, look here. Like I told you, Friday I got a special guest that's not lined up. I'm trying to get another one too, but and it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna make Friday. We're gonna have some fun on Friday because that's Freedom Friday.
You got Ray J coming by?
I might. You know, Reggie having issues right now.
He got some issues.
He got some health issues, I think.
A video of him on stage at a concert with some sunglasses on, and blood was coming from his eyeballs.
Hey man, I was looking at Cardi B, you know, because she had her little concert, and one of her little guests that say, "Damn, Cardi, you got a whole lot of ass back there." She said, "Yeah, and I'm taking some of this ass off of me. As soon as this tour is over with."
You need to. Man, when she fell out the chair, and her back was on the floor, but her ass was still in the chair.
Oh man,
she hadn't made it down on the ground yet.
You know, some of these girls, it's just too much and
overdid it, man.
And why is everything the shake your ass dance, like the Beyonce dance back? Why does everybody do that shit? You know what I'm saying? You turn your ass to the back and shake it up or down, whatever. And why is that a thing? I don't know what that shit.
Ain't no effort to that.
There ain't no effort to it.
Making it clap and shit. Fuck making it clap. Go make me some goddamn breakfast. Shit.
Hey, clap them hands together and make me a pizza or something. Goddamn shit.
Do something productive with yourself.
Anyways, man. Hey, God bless these people, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Ray J, get better, Ray J. Get better, Ray J.
Absolutely. All right, fellas, we out of here, man. See y'all tomorrow, Thursday's Thoughts. All right. And we'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm out.